Legend of Moon, Wolves of the Ashen Howlers. By Fooly Productions Inc. Chapter 1 Moonlight. The forest was silent beneath the silver glow of the moon. A lone black wolf crouched by the lake, her violet eyes glowing like twin amethysts. She watched as a deer lowered its head to drink, unaware of the danger in the shadows. It would be her first kill. Moon's muscles coiled. The deer lifted its head, ears twitching. In a blur, Moon sprang, claws flashing. The deer collapsed under her, and with a swift strike, its life ended. Moon raised her head to the starry sky. Finally, she whispered, her voice echoing through the woods like the wind itself. She gripped the deer in her jaws and carried it back to camp. "Sis, you did it." A small golden-brown pup bounded toward her, eyes sparkling. Sunny's playful leap sent Moon tumbling into the mud, and laughter filled the clearing. "You always find a way to make me laugh, Sunny," Moon chuckled. "Thanks, sis." Sunny grinned, tail wagging. This was more than just a hunt. It was her first prey, the mark that she was ready to train as a warrior for her pack, the Ashen Howlers. Later, in her den, Moon curled in her nest and drifted into sleep. Her dream was strange. A black and white wolf stood before her, his eyes pale and clouded, like fog. When he spoke, his voice was heavy and distant, as though carried from another world. When shadows deepen and silence holds its breath, a black wolf shall rise from the veil of night. Her eyes, twin flames of moonlit amethyst, shall pierce the veil between worlds. She will walk where the living fear, and where the dead whisper in forgotten tongues. The pack divided shall find its path by her gaze. For in her, darkness does not consume. It guides. Beware the crimson dawn, for only her light of violet fire can turn the tide of fate. Should she falter, the forest shall fall silent forever. But if she endures, a new age of the wolf will begin, beneath the moon's eternal glow. The prophecy unfolded, warning of crimson dawn, the rise of darkness, and a fate only she could shape. Moon jolted awake, heart pounding. What does it mean?" she whispered to the night. Chapter 2 One Hope. Morning light spilled into the den. Sunny slept curled at her side, his tiny body rising and falling with each breath. Moon padded into the clearing where the pack gathered. "Dear warriors," came the voice of the alpha, a massive gray wolf with eyes like the forest itself. His mate, a striking black and white she-wolf with eyes blue as the lake, stood proudly at his side. "The dark pack threatens war. Our numbers are few, pups are still young, we need more warriors if we are to survive." "I'm ready." Moon stepped forward. The alpha studied her. "You truly wish to fight in war?" "Yes," she said firmly. "Then prepare yourself for training," the alpha rumbled. Moon's heart swelled with pride. Chapter 3 Lessons. The old clearing felt like a battlefield frozen in time. "Good morning, Moon," a voice called. An elegant swan with golden eyes stepped forward. "Welcome to my school. I am Lady Swan." The lessons began. Moon learned to stalk, to strike, to move with patience and precision. She ambushed rabbits, learned to fight wolves stronger than herself, and tested her endurance until her muscles burned. "You've done well," Lady Swan said, wings wrapping around her in a gentle embrace. "I only hope you survive what lies ahead." "I fight for my pack," Moon said, eyes burning with resolve. Chapter 4 War. The Ashen Howlers gathered, a sea of fur and fire in their eyes. "Dear warriors," the alpha called. "Remember, our pack is our life. The dark pack will attack soon. Be ready." Across the river, their enemies gathered under their leader, a massive black wolf with eyes glowing red like embers. For a heartbeat, Moon froze. "He's beautiful." "No," she growled at herself, pushing the thought away. Rage burned hotter than doubt. Chapter 5 Attack. The battle erupted in snarls and blood. Moon lunged at a dark pack wolf, claws striking true. Then the red-eyed alpha stepped forward. "Darkclaw," her alpha growled. "Oh, so you remember my name," Darkclaw sneered. Moon leapt at him, but his claws raked across her face. Pain seared, blood dripping into her eyes. "Moon," her pack cried out, then fell silent as Darkclaw struck, killing the Ashen Howlers alpha with a brutal blow. "Kill them all," Darkclaw roared. The last thing Moon saw before darkness claimed her was his smirk. Chapter 6 Soldiers Fallen. Moon awoke in a dark cell. Chains bound her paws. A soft mew broke the silence. A small cat appeared, keys jingling around her neck. "Who are you?" Moon rasped. "My name's Kitty," the cat whispered. Together, they slipped through the shadows and fled. But when they returned to the Ashen Howlers camp, horror awaited them. Darkclaw stood on the high rock, claws gripping the alpha's grieving mate. "Stay back, or she dies," he snarled. Kitty lunged at him, but Darkclaw slashed her paw. Moon threw herself forward, even as his claws pierced her fur. And then, Light, the ghostly wolf appeared again, beneath the moon's eternal glow. Strength surged through Moon. She rose, fangs gleaming, and with a final strike, tore Darkclaw down. Bloodied and shaking, she lifted her head. "He's dead," she panted. "I've killed him." The Ashen Howlers bowed their heads. Moon was their new alpha. Chapter 7 Next morning. The camp was quiet. Moon, Sunny's voice rang out, filled with joy. He bounded to her side, pressing against her fur. From that day forward, Moon began rebuilding. War camps rose. Warriors trained. Pups played in safety once again. A golden age was dawning. Chapter 8 Lights After Darkness. Seasons passed. The Ashen Howlers flourished. 9 war camps stood strong. Young wolves trained at Howlers' Paw School, including Sunny. Moon grew older. Her once dark fur turned silver gray. She sat upon the high rock, gazing at the stars. "The prophecy is fulfilled," she murmured. Sunny, now a strong wolf with a family of his own, pressed close to her side. "You're the greatest alpha in our history." Moon smiled softly. Chapter 9 New Beginnings. Kitty healed, and remained at Moon's side as her loyal deputy. In time, Moon bore 2 pups of her own, a daughter, Moonlight, and a son, Hope. She curled around them, her voice gentle as the dawn. Every beginning carries with it the quiet weight of possibility. It is a fragile moment, often small and unassuming, yet filled with the potential to shape an entire journey. A beginning can be a sunrise spilling gold across the horizon, the first step onto unfamiliar soil, the turning of a blank page, or even a breath drawn after silence. What makes beginnings so powerful is not just what they are, but what they represent: the opening of doors, the planting of seeds, the courage to move forward into the unknown. Hopes live within these beginnings like sparks waiting for wind. They are the whispers that remind us why we take that first step, even when fear and uncertainty crowd the edges of our vision. Hope tells us that the path ahead, though difficult, might lead to growth. It reassures us that mistakes can be transformed into lessons, and that endings are not failures but invitations to begin again. Hope does not deny hardship, it stands in defiance of it, a quiet strength that insists the story is not finished yet. In every new chapter, there is a delicate dance between doubt and belief. We may hesitate, unsure if we are ready or worthy of the challenges before us. Yet beginnings ask only that we start, not that we know the ending. A single choice, a single step forward, can carry us into spaces we never imagined. And with each movement, hope deepens, shaped not by the certainty of success, but by the willingness to try. Beginnings and hopes are threads that weave our lives together. They remind us that nothing is set in stone, that even in moments of loss or despair, something new can emerge. The first attempt at a dream, the fragile trust in another person, the decision to rebuild after being broken, these are beginnings born of hope, and they give us the strength to continue. To embrace a beginning is to believe in possibility. To hold on to hope is to carry light into the shadows of uncertainty. And when the two come together, when hope fuels a beginning, they become the foundation of every story worth living. She looked at the rising sun, knowing a new story was only beginning. The age of the wolves would never fade. The end.